What can I say? I'm prophetic. I was right about Oliver Anthony, and every single person who left a comment on that video, except one guy who said I was right, was wrong. Sorry, liberals. I'm sorry. Sorry, rightoids. It slipped out my mouth. Sorry, rightoids, but you were wrong, and I was right. Recently, a clip of Oliver Anthony's has surfaced of him saying diversity is our strength. And then another one has surfaced of him saying that he fucking hates Republicans. Which, I agree with him there. I fucking hate Republicans. I still do stand very hard by my belief that Richmond, north of Richmond, is of course a Confederate dog whistle, Confederate battle cry. But maybe I'll look at it with some more nuance, you know? Maybe Matt Walsh will help with that. So let's take a dive. The only thing that I've really gotten from Oliver Anthony is that he's politically incoherent. He's like Shoe on Head. he's like the worst parts of Shoe on Head. Anyways.
Well, there's this Oliver Anthony thing. Last week, Anthony, of course, the guy that's behind the Richmond, north of Richmond song, he put out a video, I think it was late last week, maybe on Friday, that got a lot of attention and really seemed to sort of divide people on the right. There are two camps now that when it comes to Oliver Anthony and especially this video. Let's watch the video first and then we'll talk about it.
If there is anything for me to address at all with you, it's that it's the one thing that has bothered me is seeing people wrap politics up into this.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Come on.
I'm disappointed to see, like, it's aggravating seeing people on conservative news try to identify with me like I'm one of them. It's aggravating seeing certain musicians and politicians act like we're buddies and act like we're fighting the same struggle here, like that we're trying to present the same message. I've had
I'll commend him on this. He has a very strong grasp of class consciousness, or faux class consciousness, because he isn't lower class. He isn't middle or working or poor. He is very rich. He is a landowner. He he owns a ranch, I believe, or at the very least he owns a large amount of land. So he has a very good grasp of how to tug at working people's values, I guess, working people's strings. If you don't know the strategies that people like him, who are faking being a part of your whole thing, if you don't know the strategies that people like him use, you get wrapped up into it. And we saw a lot of this in the comments of the last video I made about him. You can go down to the comments, you'll see a lot of people threatening me, a lot of people just being like, you have long hair. So you can really see that there.
A lot of people reach out to me, and I've tried to be polite to everybody, and I've talked to hundreds of people the last 2 weeks. But it seems like certain people want to just ride the attention of this song to maybe make them their own selves relevant, and that's aggravating as hell. The other thing that I find aggravating is, it was funny seeing my song in the. It was funny seeing it at the presidential debate, because it's like I wrote that song about those people, So for them to have to sit there and listen to that cracks me up. But it was funny kind of seeing the response to it. Like, that song has nothing to do with Joe Biden, It's a lot bigger than Joe Biden.
I'm going to assign him a political belief. He is an ANCAP. He is an anarcho-capitalist. I'm just what I read off of him. He's an anarcho-capitalist. I'm calling it right now. God damn it. As more comes out about him, I really think he will come out as an anarcho-capitalist. And I will stand by this until I am proven wrong.
That song is written about the people on that stage, and a lot more too, not just them, but definitely them.
Okay, now Anthony has come out and clarified his political stance since that video, kind of restating that he's a centrist and that he said it's...
Is it just a TV screen? Is it not like a green screen thing? Are they that cheap? Holy shit.
The song's not about Joe Biden, but it's not just about Joe Biden, he meant. It's about, you know.
Also, when he says he's a centrist, I do not believe him for half a second.
It's bigger than Joe Biden and all that, which of course the problem is bigger than Joe Biden. But what he says in the video is interesting because it seems to have divided conservatives. And there are some who say that they like the guy even more now, that this just makes him even more real and authentic and anti-establishment and all the rest of it. And it's all great. And then there are others who say
anti-establishment landowner.
Say that Anthony is trying to distance himself from conservatives, that he's basically throwing his own fan base under the bus to appease the left.
Fan base. This happens every time. It's I called it in the last video I made. These right-wing people, especially places like the Daily Wire, they get people. They say you did this thing, and you are going to be our spokesman for the next 2 months. We saw it with Kyle Rittenhouse, just as I said in the last video. We saw it with him, and then old clips come of him saying, oh, diversity is our strength, and stuff like that. And they're like, whoa, slow it down, mister. And they forget about him. And now you have, like, that one alpha male guy running for Congress who did a picture with him. And I think that's the last time anybody on the right has associated with him, as far as I know.
And they're upset about that. I'm not really in either camp exactly. And here's the way that I see it. First,
whoa, nuanced Matt Walsh.
To Anthony's credit, or in his defense, I guess, he never planned to become nationally known overnight. He obviously wasn't prepared for the fame because you really can't.
I kind of call bullshit on this. Basically, it has been kind of exposed that there is a manager that basically does a lot of astroturfing campaigns and is very related with the Daily Wire. And that manager has picked up Oliver Anthony and was showing Oliver Anthony's music to a lot of these right-wing places. So I don't believe that for half a second.
Can't be prepared for it until you have it. And for him, he went from like very not famous, right? He went from very obscure to famous in 24 hours. And that doesn't happen very often. And even if it
AstroTurf
happens over the span of, if you climb up the ladder of fame over the course of years, it's still, you get to a certain point where there's no guidebook that you can really read that will tell you how to navigate it.
Yeah, you'd know, Nazi diaper baby Matt Walsh. You would know.
There are a lot of people, there are publicists and consultants and whatever else, whatever people that claim that they're the experts, and some of them are good, do have good advice, and others don't. But even being able to navigate that and know who you should listen to and who you shouldn't listen to, again, there really isn't. It's just you feel like you're on your own. So
yeah, you should listen to these people specifically because we told them to, and. You feel really disillusioned. That's why you should come to us and listen to us. You should listen to us instead because you're disillusioned and you have no direction. That's why you should listen to me, Mr. Matt Walsh.
So he's dealing with that, and that's bewildering and overwhelming, and we can only imagine. Also, he's a singer. He's not a political pundit. He's not an analyst. He's not a talking head. He's also not a philosopher. Right? He's a musical artist. And that's all he
We're really stretching the term artist here.
Wants to be, which is fine. That's good. That's all we should ask of him. Okay, we shouldn't want musicians to be political pundits. And if a musician comes,
I mean, it'd be a pretty useful tool for whoever gets the first political musician first. You know, it it was pretty useful when let's see. I don't know, man. I think I don't know.
Why can't we talk about them without getting kicked off of YouTube?
I don't know.
Now, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy.
I think the first party to really harness their powers on this has got a real weapon in the making.
along that has and he has a message that resonates with people on the right, it's very much a mistake to take that guy and insist that he become a Fox News pundit. That's the worst thing you could do. We don't need to have him defending some party line, right? You don't need musical artists to do that. You don't need artists in general.
I mean, you kind of do. It's nice to have people who contribute to culture, pushing your line. It certainly helps a lot. And the reason that Matt is kind of conceding the art world and conceding music and conceding art is because conservatives never make great art. They just can't. Like, it's fundamentally against their ideology to make great art, and that's the reason that Matt Walsh is just conceding this here.
To do that, they shouldn't be focused on a party line. They should just be, they should be engaged with their art.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
That's the reason Matt Walsh doesn't want right-leaning people, right-leaning artists to express their views, is because that's what happens. That's what happens when that happens.
And expressing themselves that way. So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, look, nobody cares if Oliver Anthony is criticizing Republicans. We all do that. Nobody criticizes Republicans more than conservatives. It's our favorite pastime. We all do it all the time. That's.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Matt Walsh. Thing is, conservatives don't believe shit. They'll tell you they do. They don't. Conservatives don't believe shit. They just push a line. So you have very little infighting. You go to the left, they're punching everywhere. We're punching left, down, up, to the right. Mostly to the right, but we're punching left a lot too.
That's all fine, okay? So I don't care about that. But just to be totally honest, when he says that he's aggravated by people in, quote, conservative news, I guess there are various ways of interpreting that, but that would seem to me very much to be a reference to the people who gave him a platform to begin with.
Oh,
people
shit. Is he disowning him?
People who connected his song to other people. Now,
Matt Walsh goes up to Oliver Anthony. He opens the door to the house and he says, "Be gone. Be gone, my son." He says, crying, as Oliver Anthony scurries out the door. "Be gone."
Connected with the song because it's a good song, and that's all on him. He made a good song. But they heard it to begin with because of conservative media and conservative personalities.
So he admits to astroturfing. Boom. Hey, I'm proven right once again.
And influencers. Prior to that, Oliver Anthony had an audience of basically no one on YouTube. And that's just a fact. He would.
I am again right.
Have an audience without the conservative media personalities that
astroturfing them.
he is now aggravated by. As many of you know, I'm a true grill master. I love grilling up just about anything. Thanks to my friends at Cinch, my grill is never empty
This
with
one doesn't have
propane.
chapters.
Because of this,
Fuck.
I can have whatever I want, whenever I want, on the grill. 40daysforlife.com. That's 40daysforlife.com. And look, I'm old-fashioned, I admit. I tend to think, like a thank you is perhaps more in order than expressions of aggravation. I don't know. But what really rubbed me the wrong way most of all is not even that. When he says musicians, he throws musicians into that. And he says, I'm aggravated by the musicians who are pretending to be buddies with me. Like, which musicians are you referring to? Because only...
Hold on, where is it? These musicians, Matthew.
Without getting kicked off of, I'm not saying Hitler was a good guy.
These musicians.
Only a very, very, very few prominent musicians ever acknowledged that the guy even exists. I mean, John Rich is the only one I could even think of. There might have been a few others, but and John Rich was not pretending to be Oliver's buddy. He was trying to help him get his music out. Almost all the other musicians just never said a single word about Oliver Anthony at all. So, and the few who did were complimenting him and supporting him, and he's saying that he's aggravated by them, which is interesting.
Okay.
And finally, he says that he's aggravated by the fact that the song was played at the Republican debate. Well, an interesting fact here is that Fox called him and asked for permission to play it at the debate. And we know that because the Fox anchors who were the moderators have said that. They said they got permission. But even if they didn't say that, we already know. Anyone who knows how these things...
Matthew, you know how these things work. They don't call him. They don't call him directly. They call his manager. They call his management company. They say, can we use this? Can we have rights to this? And the management says yes. You know how this works.
Things work, already knows. When I heard it, playing at the debate myself, I immediately knew that Oliver Anthony approved that because of copyright law. And they're not going to just play the song without permission. I mean, they could, but they're probably not going to. They're going to get permission. And they said that they did. So he approved the song being played and then said he's aggravated by it, and then said he doesn't want the song politicized, yet he approved it being played at a political debate. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's where I'm at here. I do think he seems to be playing sort of both sides of the fence a little bit, and I don't mean politically. I don't care that he's a centrist. Centrism is incoherent. It's never made less sense to be a political centrist.
True. That's why you should be on the left, always.
Than it does today, when the two sides are so fundamentally opposed on the fundamental realities of life. There really is no middle ground on these issues. An issue like, for example, is a woman, can a woman be a man or not? Like, there's no middle ground. It's just, you can't, it doesn't exist. So you really do have to choose a side. You just do.
A woman can be a man. What about it, Matthew? Triggered much?
Period. So centrism makes no sense, but I don't care about that. If you're a musician and you say you're a centrist, whatever, who cares? That's not the point. It's what could be perceived as throwing people who've helped and supported you under the bus. That's the thing I don't like. But then again, the guy doesn't have a PR firm helping him through this. That's the point. So it is what it is. That's what we're left with. That's my take. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show.
That's it. All right, Matthew Walsh. He spoke a whole lot of Japanese. If we're being honest here. But yeah, he's not very smart. He never has been. That's about it for this segment.